I'm not saying that we have breadth to this rally yet, but the S&P 500 heat map showing the Fab 7 big tech mostly red except Amazon and Apple. There's more speckled green today with the energy stocks leading the way, and a reported 17 stocks hitting new 52-week highs and only one hitting a new 52-week low. So I'm still watching the S&P 500 to see if we might possibly be adding some breadth to this rally. Not sure at this moment. Tesla continuing to break down on brokerage downgrades. I want you guys to watch for a continued move down and a close below $254 for a confirmation of the move to $239. Now, $239 is going to be a critical support level. If it doesn't hold, our next entry or our next pullback level will be $219. I'm going to be covering the EV stocks tomorrow. We're talking Tesla, Rivian, BYD, NIO, and Lucid. Lucid, which is up today after an agreement with Aston Martin. That looks very interesting. I'm going to dive into the EVs tomorrow. Let me know in the comments if that's what you guys are looking for. I'm not focusing on them today because they're in decline, and I want to focus on stocks that are going up this week. Wednesday, I'm going to focus on AI stocks. My call on ticker DUOT. I have to mention Duos Technologies, the AI focused on railways that I bought in at $4.64, hit the target that I gave you guys in that video perfectly to $6.50. ALPD is holding this morning at around $8, and so that remains bullish in my eyes. We want to watch for a breakdown beneath $8 to take a bearish stance. We're going to look at the AI stocks on Wednesday. APLD, Duot again, NVIDIA, and a new AI stock pick that I'm working on to bring to you guys. Let's just take a step back and look at the overall market. This last weekend was quite exciting with the revolt in Russia, which quickly fizzled out as quickly as it had begun. This morning, the market just shrugged off the whole thing, showing again that Putin is a survivor. For a brief moment, I thought he was going to get his smackdown, but he's yet again survived to fight another day. It was a popular speculation that the missing $6 billion from the Pentagon budget was actually used to pay the mercenary army to turn on Putin, only for it to be later speculated that Putin and the Wagner chief staged the revolt, split the cash, and were laughing their way to the bank. I don't have any opinion on any of that, but honestly, nothing would surprise me. Last week, the Nasdaq suffered its first down week in the last 2 months, recording 37 new highs against 67 new lows. So the Nasdaq has been turning before the S&P. The Nasdaq has retreated after Fed Powell addressed Congress and said that there would be rate hikes ahead. And so now there is a renewed focus on the labor market data and inflation data, which is ahead of us. This will influence the Fed's decision. The market expects one more rate hike, and policymakers see at least 2 more. So that leaves the markets in a world of uncertainty, and that's the one thing that the markets hate because the market is forward-looking. It's not wait and see. Investments are made today for at least 6 months down the road, and this uncertainty is troubling the Nasdaq the most, which is filled with all the big tech, more speculative plays. I'm going to dive into some Apple and Amazon news and give you guys some fresh technicals. But before I do, quick station break for the Moomoo investment app. For a limited time, you can open up a new account and get up to 17 free stock. You put in $100 and they're going to match that $100, and they're going to give you $100 plus a guaranteed share of C3AI. That's around an additional $40 value, plus 5 more stocks, with each one having a potential value of up to $2,000. Get the cash and stocks that they're giving away with a $100 deposit, and you can start your investing with better trade tools. Okay, let's dive into Apple. In the news today, Nancy Pelosi's husband exercised 50 call options valued at $2.6 million, buying both Apple and Microsoft. These call options were purchased in early May. They were deep in the money, and they had an expiration date of June 16th. Nancy's crystal ball was yet again right, but she did go on record to say, yet again, my husband's extreme accurate investments have nothing to do with my political knowledge. You know, I don't even talk to the guy. Paul, my husband. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, yeah, my husband. Yes. Well, Nancy's getting older, and she might have forgot that she had told her husband to buy Apple. Believe it or not, Nancy's actually more honest than other members in Congress, because it's actually been reported that this week that 78 other members of Congress didn't even bother to report their financial trades as mandated by law. You know, it's been brought up quite often that legislation should ban Congress from trading. It gets brought up, but the funny thing is the legislatures never vote to do that. However, they never miss an increase unanimously advanced every year. Well, you don't have a Nancy connection, but you do have me, so let's talk about the charts and see what we can figure out. The last time I talked about Apple, I gave this chart and said that if we stayed in the upward channel that I've drawn, that we were trending higher. We backtested $182, we found support, and then we've jumped to the top of the range at 187. And now we have some small upward creeping candles. Apple is just not done climbing. 185 range, which I gave you guys, is well secured. So ultimately, barring any major macro event, I do not see why we're not going to hit our target that I gave you guys weeks ago of 195 bucks. But it's important to look deeper at the technicals like the MACD, the RSI, and the stochastic chart. They're all showing bearish divergence, which means that we're nearing the end of the push up. Let's look at those with our own eyes. The MACD momentum is getting lower and lower, showing bearish divergence ever since August 2022. But when we recently broke out of that trend line, we did make room for Apple to go higher. The RSI just tells us that the bulls have control of Apple and it is trending higher. I would say that the RSI points to me that there is room for Apple to push higher with overall momentum. But there is also long-term bearish divergence in that chart as well, signaling that this move up is losing long-term momentum. So micro bullish, macro bearish. The stochastic shows us these different long-term moves up that Apple gets into, and what I find interesting about it is that they tend to last between 2 to 3 months at the most. And we are now at the end of 3 months, which means if it behaves in a typical way, which stocks tend to follow a pattern, the move up may be coming to an end. Now I'm in Apple, but I also am anticipating taking profits very soon, and I'm going to be done with it in my swing trade account. I'm long Apple in my retirement account, but I will not be buying this elevated level. I will only be buying in my long-term account again when we fall below $170. Let's look at Amazon. I've been covering Amazon on this page since it broke out in early May over the 110 price point. Amazon's chart stood out to me over this weekend, so it's my primary focus for this week. I gave this chart and target when Amazon was at $121, and I predicted that a close above $122.50 would be bullish, pushing Amazon to $133. Now, $129 is also a strong resistance, and it's currently battling there, and it's even got more resistance at $131. But I still think that we will squeeze and push to my target of $133 and beyond. Amazon has been steadily going up for the last 8 weeks, which means it's on quite a bullish streak, and I'm looking for a shooting star move, which once achieved is bearish, and we will be in a sell moment. But we could reach, with that move, $142 to $144. So if we look for clues from the last time Amazon did that, we saw that that move that we got in the past was preceded by some strong volatile moments right before it rocketed higher. That's what I'm expecting for it to do again. So support at $126 to $122 range, and then take profit, hopefully between $142 and $144. We are pushing up towards earnings this July 27th. The last time that Amazon peaked, it peaked on earnings, and then it sold off for the next 39 days. There are a ton of people that got trapped in Amazon right below 140, so it's been taking some time to work out that resistance, but the price action wants to go there. All right, I want to take a step back and talk about comments on my last video, which was a very interesting subject. It's about the FedNow digital payment system being launched this next week at the start of July to the public. It's already been integrated into the banking system. It represents a major change in the US, and most people don't know anything about it. In my video, I made a connection between the decrease in law and order in the nation and the solution that programmable money that can be turned on and off would have on fighting crime, but that it would come at the expense of privacy and personal freedom. In a 14-minute video, I know that in some ways it was an overly simplified, presented idea, but I still think it was valuable to be brought to everyone's attention. Ultimately, I think the goal is to tie our personal freedom to a social credit system, and I think that that would radically change the nation forever. I'm briefly bringing it up again today because I want to re-emphasize a point that I made in the video, that some people reduce this topic to Democrats versus Republicans, and that's what they want you to do. They want to divide and conquer the nation. When the final battle over freedom is fought, it's not going to be between Democrats and Republicans fighting over social issues, but rather it's going to be the elite financial and political power brokers against the masses. So I challenge you guys to look deeper at where the threat truly lies. We're going to keep that conversation going. I think it's a very interesting topic. I want to thank you guys for all the thoughtful comments that you gave me. Let's try to make some money on Amazon and Apple. I want to thank you guys for the likes and all the new subscribers. Say hi in the comments to me. Peace and blessings. See you guys tomorrow when we dive into the EV stocks.